Hello, everyone. Happy New Year, which is crazy. I can't believe it's already 2022. I still think it's 2020 sometimes, but it's 2022. Mad. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. How are you doing today? I hope you're all well. Um, Thank you very much for joining this live. We're going to wait a few minutes just for more people to join. So while we wait, maybe you can tell me in the comments where you are from, which part of the world are you in right now. I'd love to see where you all are. And also, while we're waiting, if you think that this live would be useful or interesting for anyone else that you might know and they're not already watching, then why don't you go ahead and share this live with them? Okay, so share the link with them, and we'll get as many people watching this as we can. We'll all help each other out learning English today. So I haven't even introduced myself. For those of you who don't know, I'm Lizzie, and I'm going to be taking this live lesson today. As you can see, we are going to be talking about small talk. Okay, so how to start a conversation in English with someone. But the topic is small talk, and we'll go into what small talk is exactly soon if you're unsure what it is. So don't worry about that. Let me just take a little look at the comments and see where you are all from. Okay, where have we got? We've got Bangladesh, Iraq, Pakistan, South Korea. A lot of people from Bangladesh today. Cool. Brazil. Hey everyone, thank you for letting me know. From Egypt, Kenya. Oh, wow, we've got people from everywhere today. Sri Lanka, Turkey, India, Moldova. Cool. Great. Saudi Arabia. Yeah, good evening, good morning. For me, it's afternoon right now. It's my afternoon. It's 2 p.m. And it's really sunny today, which is lovely, but so cold. It's so cold where I am right now. How's the weather for you guys? Let me know. I hope you all had a nice new year. If you did anything nice, did you celebrate? Did you go out? Did you see friends? Did you spend it with family? Let me know. Let me know what you did for New Year. I had a nice time with some friends. It was lovely. But I just still can't believe it's like already 2022. I'm still in shock. I know I've already said that. The weather's great, nice, sunny, cold. Okay, guys, I think we can probably get going. So, as I said, and as you can see, we are going to be talking about small talk. So, small talk, does anybody know what it is? How would you describe small talk? What is it? Do you make small talk in your own language? Is it a common thing for people to do in your culture? Let me know. Yeah, what are we saying? Everyday talk, yeah, everyday conversation. Yeah, kind of. Joseph on the air. Small talk means basic daily conversation. Yeah. So it's kind of like polite conversation, okay, about things that are usually unimportant. So not always, but most often it's about things which are not very important or very deep or very meaningful. It's just kind of polite conversation. We would use this phrase chit chat, polite chit chat, okay? Polite conversation, basic conversation. And we would usually use this kind of conversation either with strangers, so people we don't know, we might have small talk with them, or with people we know, but when we first see them. So maybe we're meeting friends, and when we first meet them, then we'll have small talk, and then we'll start talking about maybe more in-depth topics later on. So when you meet someone for the first time or with a stranger, you wouldn't really have a really deep or meaningful conversation straight away. Usually you'll have some small talk first, some polite conversation, and then you'll start talking about more meaningful or deep topics. Okay. Great comment here that I just saw. Where's that gone? Raphael. Small talk is usually used to break the ice. Excellent. To break the ice. So that's a really good idiom. So if you break the ice, it's when you so when you first meet someone or you first have a conversation with someone and it might be a little bit awkward or uncomfortable, you maybe don't know them really well, you might say something to break the ice, so to make each other feel more comfortable, more settled, more relaxed. Yeah, so often when maybe I have a lesson with my students, if I have new students, I'll maybe ask some questions or play some games called icebreaker games or icebreaker discussion, icebreaker topics to break the ice. Okay, so to make people feel comfortable and relaxed. So to start the conversation. So today, what I'm going to do is I have some different topics here that you could use to have small talk. And I also have some different situations here. So, different situations you might find yourself in where it might be quite useful to know how to make small talk. So, we're going to go over these today. And as always, at the end, I'm going to test you a little bit on these. So I'm going to give you some different situations and I'm going to ask you to try and make small talk to start a conversation. How would you start a conversation in these situations? So you can practice it with me. And at the very end, I will give you a chance to ask some questions. So don't worry if you have questions throughout, and if I don't answer them, I'll give you a chance at the end to ask some questions about the topic. Okay, so that's the plan for today. And as always, don't worry if you can't watch all of this live, if you're joining this live later on, it will be available to watch straight away on the Cambly YouTube channel, so you can watch it back then. Okay, fab. So why do we need to learn small talk? Why do we need to know these phrases that I'm going to teach you today? Well, if you want to meet new people, knowing how to make small talk is a great way to, as Raphael said, break the ice. Okay, to start a conversation or to make a situation more relaxed. Secondly, if you learn to make small talk, if you learn these phrases, and a lot of these are quite simple phrases as well, but if you learn if you learn them and you know them, you have them ready, it can help to build your confidence, okay, to start a conversation with someone in English anytime, anywhere. So, I have a list of different topics and phrases that English people often use to make small talk. So let's just get started with them now. And we'll start with the topics first. So we've got the weather. Okay, so this is a really, really, really common topic that, I mean, definitely for me, I'm British. So for British people anyway, we love to talk about the weather when we first meet someone. If we're talking to a stranger, maybe we go to the shop and we want to talk to the person who's serving us in the shop, we might talk about the weather, okay, to make polite conversation. So let me know if this is also common in your country, in your culture. Do you talk about the weather? Because British people, we love to talk about the weather, and I'm really interested to know if it's common in your culture too, or if it's just us, if we're obsessed with the weather. I mean, I already did it today. I already asked you guys what the weather was like and spoke about the weather here, so we do it all the time. So the weather. I have some different phrases that you might use to talk about the weather. So let's go over them. So we could say something like, lovely day, don't you think? Or terrible weather, don't you think? Okay, this is a good one. So maybe you can try and make a question like this, make a phrase like this now in the comments, but talking about the weather where you are right now. Okay, so for me, I would say, lovely day, don't you think? Or "Ah, it's a bit cold today, don't you think?" So this way you're talking about the weather, but you're also opening up a conversation because you're asking a question at the same time. So yeah. Or you could say something like, it looks like it's going to snow. It looks like it's going to snow. Or it looks like it's going to rain. Great sentences, guys. And yeah, it's interesting to see that it is common in other cultures too. So great. I love that. Everyone just loves talking about the weather. Okay, another one you could say is, it's a bit whatever today. So it's a bit chilly today. If you don't know what chilly means a little bit cold, okay? It's a bit chilly today, or it's really sunny today, or it's lovely weather today, okay? Obviously, you can just change it. Obviously, this is quite a basic one. Okay, and the last one, you could talk about the weather forecast. So you could say, I saw in the forecast that there's going to be a storm later. Or I saw in the forecast it's gonna get much hotter next week. So talking about the weather forecast. That's really common too. Or you could say something like, lovely day today, don't you think? Although I think it's supposed to rain later. Something like this. I'm going to have a little look at what you guys have said, talking about the weather in your country using some different phrases, okay? So it's good to know some different phrases. So we're not just saying it's sunny today. It's good to know like a range of different ways we could talk about the weather and someone. What have we got? Overcast is a great word. Overcast means it's very cloudy, okay? I saw in the forecast that it was going to rain. Good. It looks like it's going to be sunny. Nice one. It's cool today. Nice, isn't it? Good, I love it. Okay, well done, guys. So talking about the weather is a really common way to start a conversation, to make polite conversation with someone in English. Let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic we've got is arts or entertainment. So this is talking about things like music, films, TV programs, books, I don't know what else, podcasts, going to restaurants, things like this. So, for example, you could say, are you reading any good books? I could use some recommendations. Or, can you recommend me a good book? Okay, so we can just ask someone a question. Or, have you seen the new movie that came out at the cinema? What did you think of it? Or, I was listening to a really interesting podcast the other day. Or this one, have you tried the new restaurant that opened up in town? Okay, so asking about all of these things is a great way to start a conversation in English. Let's see what you have put. Are you reading any sci-fi books? Nice. Have you seen the new drama? Yeah. I was listening to Adele's new album. Great. So what you can do is you can say something like that and then turn it into a question. So you could say, I was listening to Adele's new album. Have you listened to it yet? Okay, so the whole point is that you want to open up a conversation, start a conversation with someone. Have you tried Sherlock Holmes? Yeah. Have you watched Sherlock Holmes? Hmm. Are you going to sing? Are you asking me if I'm going to sing, or are you asking that as a small talk? I'm definitely not going to sing. You guys can sing if you want. Okay. Have you tried sushi? Yeah, that's fine. You can talk about food and things, food and drinks. Okay. So now I'm going to move on to talk about sports, okay? Now, with sports, I would be careful because some people get quite, I don't know, especially with like football teams and things, sometimes it could turn into an argument or quite a heated discussion, maybe if you both support like rival teams. So I would be careful when you're talking about sports with someone. Um, but usually it's okay, and there's lots of ways that you can talk about sport without it being controversial, okay, or a problem. So, for example, you could say, "Did you watch that football match yesterday? Did you see the football yesterday?" Or who do you think will win the World Cup? Okay. Or who do you think will win the football match or whatever it is? It doesn't have to be football. I don't know why I'm only talking about football. Um, let's see, what else have you guys got? Are you are you a fan of Celtic or Glasgow Rangers? Yes, you could ask that. You could ask that. Me personally, I'm not a football fan, so I don't have an answer to that. Did you watch the game on the TV? Good. Another way we sometimes ask this is, did you catch the game? Okay, so we sometimes use this verb catch. Did you manage to catch the game on TV? Which means did you watch it? Did you see it? So that's quite a good phrase to use too. So yeah, as I say, be careful because if you're talking about different teams, sports teams, sometimes it can end up causing arguments with people. So yeah, just be careful with this topic. But yeah, did you watch the FA Cup final yesterday? Nice. Okay. And who will you support? Okay, this is the one that can be a little bit controversial, so I'd be careful with this one. But yeah, you could say that. Who will you support in this game or in this match? Okay, nice. Let's move on to another topic. So we have current events. Okay, current events. What could we talk about? So this is talking about things like news, maybe. You can talk about national news, international, world news, or you could talk about local news, maybe even something that's just happened in your city or your small area that you live in. So that's a good thing to talk about. Or celebrity gossip, things like this. So yeah, what have we got? For example, you could say, did you hear about that fire? So that's not a very nice example, but did you hear about the fire that happened? Or did you hear about the bank robbery or whatever? I don't know why I can don't think of these examples. Can you think of anything else that you could use for this one? Did you hear about something? Did you hear about the accident? Yeah. Or what do you think about? So this could be used maybe if you're talking about something a bit like more political or something like this. So what do you think about the rail strikes? Or what do you think about the new laws about whatever? Again, if you're talking about something like this that's a bit more political, I would also be careful because this could be controversial. And the whole point of small talk is it's polite conversation, okay? We don't really want to get into like a big heated debate about something. That's then not small talk anymore. So some of these questions I would be careful with if you just want to make small talk and have polite conversation. Did Okay, what have you got there? Sorry, I couldn't see that one. Did you hear? Yeah, did you hear about the Omicron variant? You could talk about, yeah, things to do with COVID at the moment. That's definitely what a lot of people are making small talk and starting conversations with, is talking about things to do with COVID at the moment. Yeah. Okay. Or I heard on the news that something. Okay. I heard on the news or I heard on the radio that there is bad traffic on this road or whatever. Okay. Good. Well done, guys. Okay, and now I want to move on to some different situations, okay? So let me know if you can think of any other situations where it might be useful for you to make small talk with someone. Um, I mean, it can be almost any situation, okay? Because it could be these ones here. So at the office, maybe you started a new job and you have English colleagues, okay? And you want to make small talk with them, you want to get to know them. At a social event, so maybe at a party, particularly if you don't really know too many people there, then you might want to know how to make small talk, how to start a conversation with people. And then waiting somewhere. Okay, so maybe you're waiting at the doctor's or you're waiting in a queue in the shop, or you're waiting for a bus or a train or something. Okay, you might want to make conversation with someone. I don't know about you guys, but I always like making conversation, starting conversations with people, even if I don't know them. Not everyone likes to do that, so let me know if you're like that, if you like to start conversations with anyone, or maybe you're like a bit more shy. But either way, these phrases are a great way to start a conversation with anyone. But let me know if you can think of any other situations where it might be useful to know some of these phrases. Okay. We're going to start with at the office, okay? At the office. So let's have a little look. Actually, before I show you, I'll see if you can think of any yourselves, okay? How could you start a conversation with someone? Polite, basic conversation with someone at the office, okay? So you're in work, you want to make a conversation with someone, you don't know them very well, maybe. How could you start having a conversation with them? What could you say to them? This is quite common with colleagues, people you work with, okay? Because you're not going to have a really in-depth conversation, maybe, because you're supposed to be working. But you might want to just make some polite conversation in the morning when you go in, or at the beginning of a meeting or something. Okay, let's see. What do you think about the new boss? Yeah, you could do that. What do you think about the new boss? Maybe be careful about that. Careful with that one though. Did you hear about the bonus? Okay. Do you think this project is interesting? Good. Nice. What did you do at the weekend? Great. Great one, especially if it's Monday. On Monday, I find whenever I've worked with other people, on Monday everyone asks what everyone did at the weekend, and then on Friday everyone asks what everyone's plans are for the next weekend. So that's your Monday and Friday sorted for small talk. Okay, let's have a look at things that I've put. But great examples, guys. Well done. So the first one is kind of what you guys said. So looking forward to the weekend. Looking forward to the weekend, or looking forward to your holiday if you're about to take a holiday. Looking forward to your holiday. Have you worked here long? Okay, maybe especially if you don't really know the person. Have you worked here long? Or this one's very common. I can't believe how busy we've been today. Or I can't believe how quiet we've been today. Okay, so these ones are all great if you want to start a conversation with someone in the office. And also, when you're in the office, you can use any of these topics too. Okay, so you can say any of these things, but also these topics. could be used as well. So you could talk about the weather. You could talk about arts or entertainment. You could talk about sports. You could talk about current events. Okay, so you can use any of these topics for these situations too. Okay. Well done, guys. Great. Okay, let's go on to at a social event. Okay, so maybe you're at a party or you've gone to a restaurant or something like this. Okay, maybe it's like a work party, work Christmas party or something like this. How could you make small talk? How could you start a conversation with someone related to the party? Again, remember you can use any of these ones too. These are all great for these situations. But can you think of anything a little bit more specific? Now I'm going to have a look at what you are saying. How's the party? Did you enjoy it? Yeah. If you're still at the party, you would say, how's the party? Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying yourself? Okay. After the party, you can say, how was the party? Did you enjoy it? Okay. So if you're still at the party, you would say, are you enjoying it? Okay, good. So this one. So how do you know blah, blah, blah? Okay. How do you know Sarah? Or how do you know Joe, who invited us to the party? Okay, you would use this one if you don't know these people, obviously. Or this one. Have you tried the whatever? Have you tried the sandwiches? Have you tried the pizza? Maybe there's food at the party. Or have you tried this cocktail? Okay, so talk about the things that you're eating and drinking at the party. What else? Are you enjoying yourself? As we said before. Nice. Are you enjoying yourself? Is a great one. Another thing we often do, I do this quite a lot anyway, is we compliment somebody. So we might talk about something we like that they're wearing or something like this. Okay, so we might say, "Oh, I love your dress. Where's it from?" Or I love your earrings. Where did you get them from?" This is quite a common way to start a conversation. Can you think of any others? I'll have a little look at what you. Okay. Okay. Nice one, guys. Okay. Finally, waiting somewhere. Okay, so if you're waiting in a queue or you're waiting at a bus stop, where else could you be waiting? You're waiting at the doctors to be seen. Okay, so in all of these situations, it's sometimes very useful to know how to make small talk. So yeah, what could you say? You could say, I didn't think it would be busy today. Okay, if you're waiting somewhere because it's really busy, you can say, I didn't think it would be busy today. That starts a conversation off. Or blah, blah, blah must be running late. So the bus must be running late. Or, oh, the train must be running late. Or, I don't know, the doctor must be running late. Guys, by the way, if you're just joining now, we're talking about small talk, so how to start a conversation with someone in English. And don't worry if you've missed the lesson so far, because you'll be able to watch it back whenever you like. It's going to be available to watch straight away, so don't worry. Or this one, how long have you been waiting? So how long have you been waiting here? This is very common too. Okay, so all of these ones, if you're waiting somewhere, you could ask these questions. Let's see. The doctor must be running late. Have you been waiting here for a long time? Good. I've been waiting for 3 years. Well, I hope you haven't been waiting for 3 years for the bus. That I don't think is coming. That's a long time. Okay. Oh, the dentist must be running late. Good job. Okay. So when when we meet people, as I said before, when we meet people that we don't know or people that we aren't very close with, um, it might be a bit strange if you start having a really deep or meaningful conversation with them. So these phrases that I've taught you today are a great way to open up a conversation and make polite conversation with people that you maybe don't know so well, or strangers, or someone you haven't seen for a while. So yeah, I hope that they've all been really useful, and I hope you kind of now feel like if you were to meet someone and you wanted to start a conversation with them in English, you'd have a lot of different phrases that you can use, a lot of different ideas of topics you can talk about. So yeah, what I'm going to do now is I have some examples of situations that you might find yourself in, and I want you to tell me what you would say, how you would start a conversation. You can make it related to the specific situation that you're in, or you can talk about any of these topics, okay? Or anything else, and I'll check them, okay? So let's see, let's practice this together. Try and have some small talk with me. So, the first situation, you are at an exercise class early, and there's only one other person that has arrived. So maybe it's me, okay? It's just me and it's just you, and we've arrived at this exercise class together. We're early, the teacher hasn't arrived, no one else is there, and you want to you want to start a conversation, okay? You want to make small talk. What could you say? How could you start the conversation? I'll have a little look. What would you say to someone in this situation? Harry, hey, have you tried it before? Great. Have you been to this class before? Have you tried this class before? What time is it? Great, you can ask the time. What time is it? Have you got the time? How long till the lesson starts? Do you know? Have you been waiting for a long time? Great, great, Mariam. Have you been waiting for a long time? Good one. Looks like we are early today. Great. I love that one. How did you get here? Yeah, you could say, how did you get here? Did you walk here? Did you drive here? I'd be careful asking people too personal questions, okay? Because if it's someone you don't know, then people find it a bit, definitely in the UK anyway, like it might be different in different cultures, but definitely in the UK, if you start asking really personal questions to someone that you don't know, they find it quite uncomfortable. Which is again why knowing these phrases to make small talk and polite basic conversation is very useful, so that you're sure that you're not going to offend anyone or make anyone feel uncomfortable by asking questions that are a bit too personal or a bit too deep, like straight away. Yeah. Okay. Let's go on to a new situation. Well done, guys. You gave some great examples. Okay, the next one. Your friend invites you to a party where you don't know anyone. Okay, so you go along to this party with your friend, you don't know anyone apart from your friend. How would you start a conversation with someone at this party? What could you say? Let me leave this here so you can see. Do you have a cigarette? Yeah. Yeah, Helmy. You could. If you smoke cigarettes, you could ask that. What else? It's an amazing party. Yeah, it's an amazing party. How do you know Sarah? Good. How did you get to know Sarah? Sarah's someone at the party, right? Are you enjoying the party so far? Good, English vibes. Love that. What else? Do you want to dance with me? Yeah, could be a little bit forward for small talk, but it might work. Are you enjoying yourself? Good. Can you please tell me the time? Good again. Have you tried the cocktails? Nice one, Jennifer. Have you tried the cocktails? Good. Do you like to dance? Yeah, good. Okay, well done. And let's move on to the final situation. And here I've got a phrasal verb, which I'm just going to explain to you as well, in case you haven't heard it before. So you bump into an old school friend who you haven't seen for years. This phrasal verb, to bump into someone, it means to meet someone unexpectedly, okay? So you see someone, you meet someone, but unexpectedly. You didn't plan to meet them, you didn't plan to see them. You just happen to see them. You happen to bump into them. It's a great phrasal verb and it's very commonly used. So if it's new for you, then definitely take it down and try and use it. But yeah, you bump into an old school friend who you haven't seen before. What would you say to them? How could you start a conversation? Polite, basic conversation. Are you going to use any of these? Are you going to ask something else? Joseph, oh my God, we haven't seen each other for ages. How's it going? How's it going? You don't need on at the end. Just how's it going? Great. Hey, you look great. Yeah, you look wow. Or you could say, long time no see. Okay? I haven't seen you in so long. We have this expression we say, long time no see. Haven't seen you in ages. Yeah, you could ask about mutual friends that you both know. You could say, oh, have you heard from them? Okay, great. Start a conversation with them. What else? I'm happy to see you. It's been a while. Are you going to return my money? Okay. Okay, well done, guys. Great. Okay. I hope all of these were really useful, and I hope that you feel now like you have a lot of phrases, a lot of ideas about how you could start a conversation with someone in lots of different situations. If you have any questions, please ask away now. So if you have any questions about small talk, about any of the phrases, any of the topics that we've discussed today, then ask these questions now and I'll try and answer them for you best I can. Let me have a look at some questions. What have we got? English vibes, great question. Bump into and run into the same? Yeah, they are. So if you run into someone or if you bump into someone, it's the same. So it's to meet someone unexpectedly. So both of these are really great. So try and use them. Any others? How can we join Cambly? Okay, I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Just see if anyone else has any other questions about small talk. But I feel like you guys have got it. You seem to have followed it really well and you've given great examples. Okay. Oh, Harry, do we also have large talk? No, we don't really. We use the phrase small talk, but we don't really have anything. We don't say like big talk or large talk. Instead, we would maybe say deep chat, which is, let me type that for you. Deep chat. So deep chat would be kind of the opposite of small talk, I guess. So small talk is usually about kind of unimportant, basic, simple, polite conversation, whereas a deep chat is like, a really meaningful, intense conversation. That's kind of opposite. So yeah. What do you prefer, guys? Do you prefer having a deep chat or do you prefer having small talk? What's your favorite? Okay, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Cambly to you guys now. So if you don't use Cambly already as an application, it's great that you're all here and you're joining in on these lives. It's a great way to keep improving your English and learn about lots of new topics. And by the way, these lives take place every Sunday. So make sure you don't miss the next one. But if you don't use Cambly as an application, Cambly is a great way to learn English, to have a conversation. So it's a great way to get started speaking in English, have practice talking to native English speakers from lots of different countries. And if you would like to start using Cambly, then you can do so using the link that will be provided at the bottom of this video. And I have a code for you guys where you can get up to 36% off your subscription. And the code is Go Live. Okay, so if you want to start using Cambly to practice your English speaking, you can use this code to get a little discount on your subscription. And I think it'd be great if you joined and you tried to have small talk, tried to start a conversation with your English teachers, your English tutors, using some of these topics and some of these phrases that I've given you today. I am a teacher on Cambly and I'd love to meet some of you. So there should be a link below this video and you'll be able to access it afterwards as well, where you can book a lesson with me. And also there will be a link with this code too. The code will be below this video, so you'll see that again. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much for joining. I hope this was useful. I hope you had fun. And again, Happy New Year, and I'll see you all very soon. Goodbye.